how and when you are supposed to do exercises and what all precautions you have to do when you are doing all these exercises. Welcome to yet another episode under the world as doshas, the shloka of the week. Okay, we are still on Vyayama or exercise. A couple of weeks back, we have discussed about the benefits of Vyayama or exercise. Last week, we discussed about who are the people who are not supposed to do Vyayama. And this week, okay, we will discuss about how and when to do the exercises. This is very important, okay. This is also from Ashtanga Hridaya Sutra Sthana. Bhattacharya has explained this beautifully. Okay, so let us see what he has to say. So, under the shloka of the week, Ashtanga Hridaya, second chapter, that is the Dinacharya chapter. Dinacharya means the daily routine. Dinacharya chapter, the 13th shloka, and this is how the shloka goes. Okay, Vyayamam, how and when. Ardha Shaktya Nishevyastu. Okay. Balibhi Snigdha Bhojivihi Sheetakale Vasante cha Mandameva Tato Anyada. Okay, now the transliteration. Ardha Shaktya Nishevastu Balibhi Snigdha Bhojivihi Sheetakale Vasante cha Mandameva Tato Anyada. Okay, now let us get into the meaning of this. So this is how you have to do exercise and when you have to do exercise. Now, listen to this very carefully. Vyayamam is for a person who is strong and consuming Snigdha. So, let me just go to the previous shloka, previous slide. Okay. Ardha Shaktya Nishevastu. Balibihi. Balibihi means a person who is strong, the person who has got strength. Okay. Not for a weak person, for a person who has got strength and who is Snigdha Bhojivihi, that means a person who consumes food which is not dry. Okay, that doesn't mean that you have to add too much of oil. The sense he adds ghee into his food and he takes milk and he takes all those things which don't dry the system. So a person who doesn't consume food which are extremely drying and a person who has got strength, Ardha Shaktya Nishevastu. Okay, Ardha Shakti means what? Half the strength. Ardha Shaktya Nishevastu. Nishevastu means do or indulge. So a person who is strong and who is consuming Snigdha food has to do exercises using only half his strength. So that is what the meaning of the first two lines is. Okay, and when we get into the third line, Shita Kale Vasantecha. Shita Kala means in the cold season and in the Vasanta Ritu. So when all the spring, in these seasons, it is prescribed for you to do with half the strength. Okay, so a person who's got strength and who consumes not so dry food, that means oily food, has to use half his strength to do exercises in the cooler seasons. Okay. And in other seasons, much milder than that. So you have got seasons, okay, which are predominantly cooler and which are predominantly warmer. So in the cooler seasons, even if you are strong, do exercises only with half your strength, because exercise is not basically to build that kind of muscular body, or we call that the six-pack, designer body. That's not what the purpose of exercise is. Exercise, a couple of weeks back we went Laghavam Karma Samarthyam Deeptognir Medhasa. It is basically to feel light, for your Agni to do well, and lot of other things. No, it is not meant to basically have that becomes bodybuilding, and that is a sport. That is not exercise. Okay, that is something where you strain the body beyond a certain limit. Here exercise is only using half your strength. Okay, now let us get a little bit deeper into it. So with exercise, what happens? Your Vata and Pitta goes up. That we saw even in the last week. So it should be done only according to the strength of the person and season. So if the person is strong, actually Balibihi, we saw that if the person is strong, then you can do a little bit of exercise. And if you are weak, We saw that last week. Okay, Vata Pitta Mayi. Okay, person who is suffering from Vata and Pitta disorders are not supposed to do exercises, or very mild. So when the season is strong, that means when the season is slightly on the cooler side, and when the person is strong, then you are supposed to do exercise, and that too only using half your strength. Okay, so that means Visarga Kala is a Kala where you have got the sun moving to the southern hemisphere. It's also called Dakshinayana, and you have got other thing where the sun moves to the northern hemisphere, and that is called Uttarayana. And in Uttarayana or the Adana Kala is a time where the sun actually is so hot that it sucks energy from the system. And in the Visarga Kala or the Dakshinayana is a time where the nature actually gives you a lot of energy. The environment starts getting cooler. So when the environment is getting cooler, that is when you have to use half your strength to do exercises. And when the environment is not cooling and when it starts taking energy from you, you have to do exercise little bit more, less than half your strength. So this is very important for you to stay healthy. When and how to do your exercises. Thank you.